7:04. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we're going to move on to item number 3, public comment. Is there anyone with public comment? Is there anyone with public comment? One last time, anyone with public comment for tonight? We're going to close the public comments. I'd like to make, I'll entertain a motion. Thank you very much, Stefan. My first meeting here, running the meeting. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes from March 21st public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Approved by Nicole, second by Al. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Abstain.
Note Stefan and Nicole's,
Anne Marie.
Anne Marie,
Not me. I was here.
Stefan
That's
and
right.
Al's
Four.
approval. Motion passes, what was it? 301, thank you, 303. 2. Wow, I'm messing this one up pretty good. It's a good thing I'm already sunburned. I'm red as it is, so.
I abstained, Jeff. I wasn't here. Al wasn't here.
So it's 303 then.
303.
303.
Thank you. All right, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the March 21st, 2017 regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Anne Marie, second by Stefan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes 6-0-0. Okay, move on. First Selectmen's report. There is no First Selectmen's report. I'll just mention that Kurt is actually on vacation with his family this week, so there won't be a report. Next item on the agenda, a discussion with the Emergency Management Director regarding ordinance changes. Tom Amy is here to talk about some of the ordinance changes that he'd like to propose. So, Tom, if you'd like to step on up.
Tom Amy, 50 Laurel Lane, Director of Emergency Management in town. Couple things that came up, and we would like to do some changes and bring the ordinances to play of what we do in this town, or in this state rather. Emergency Management Director was created by the state back in 1994 time period. Our town charter and our ordinances refer to a Civil Defense Director, which we did have a Civil Defense Department at that time. Late 90s, Civil Defense was retired, so to speak, from the town entities. And emergency management, as far as the state level, job descriptions were created and signed off from the state. And we all function on that level, except there's really nothing for bite that you can find in writing that ties us, Emergency Management Director, into the town entity at all. And sometimes we receive pushback from various departments, and we really need to straighten this out and move forward. So requesting assistance with the ordinance committee and going through everything and designing the proper language as it becomes necessary.
Okay. Are there any questions for Tom?
Any questions? But it does make sense ever since the NIMS spectrum has taken over as well. Calls out emergency management directors in the town, so I think it would make sense for the ordinance committee to reevaluate that and make sure we're using the correct terms as used in NIMS as well. Correct, Mr. Amy?
Correct.
If that's it, I'm going to have a question.
Sure. Karen?
Okay. Some time ago, I've been here for a while, we had a discussion about the availability of emergency services for the older folks in the Smithfield area.
Yes.
And then I guess the other area was Bungay. I think it was Bungay. And we talked about the bridges. What would we do if one of the bridges couldn't be used?
Yes, Karen, we had talked about the middle school is currently our primary shelter, with Chatfield Presti School as our secondary shelter. In the event if something does occur, as is the 55 flood, we would have both sides of the town covered, and our sheltering capabilities are split between both sides. If that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, it came to mind today when I was looking out the window and really happy that that wasn't snow.
Anybody else? No? Thanks, Tom.
No,
You got more?
One more item.
Oh, we have one more.
As long as we're
Thank you.
asking the ordinance committee to assist and meet. Another big one, Communications Commission. It was written back in the 70s. This is 2017. We've gone through some changes. There's a lot technology changes out there, and the commission really doesn't work as it was first designed to. Now, it needs to be a rewrite on that. So I think that's an important issue to bring that up and rewrite it. More probably, and as we all sit down and sit to review it, more towards a public safety dispatch committee. And because it covers everything goes on, the state of Connecticut has moved forward in a non-funded desire to merge municipalities together for dispatch centers. We have a contracted dispatch center for fire and EMS now. We never used to, again, the last 15 years or 20 years. But things like that were never covered in the previous ordinances. So it's time to bring us up to date on that one also.
Anybody have any questions? Comments or anything like that? Any discussion? No? I think we're good. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. All right, next on the agenda, there's an update, or we're going to provide a small update on the Small Cities Grant Program. Just to be clear, this is actually the program with which we've heard quite a bit about, helping homeowners with various home repairs to age in place, as opposed to the other Small Cities Grant Program, which we voted on, I believe, at our last meeting, which had to do with generators, installing generators at the Norma Ray House and the Callahan House. And actually, Kurt had inquired with Jim Baldwin and the Town Building Department to kind of read into and take a look at some of the contracts and what was actually being done at some of the homeowners' houses, which Jim did. And there was a letter that was sent back to Kurt, which I know that was provided to the homeowners who have come before us before. And I'll read it into the record. It's a bit long, so I do apologize, but bear with me. Dear Kurt, this letter is to inform you after review by the Office of the Building Compliance Department of the Town of Seymour of the status of 3 projects completed under the Town of Seymour's Small Cities Housing Rehab Program, sponsored in conjunction with funding from the Connecticut Department of Housing and Administrator under Lisa Lowe and Associates. 2 of the properties reviewed have met compliance with the building codes set forth by the state of Connecticut. 1 property has the status of non-compliance, and the proper code has been indicated by this department, and after correction and reinspection of this property will be brought into compliance with the Connecticut Building Code. Work such as driveways and site improvements stand outside of applicable building codes set forth in the Connecticut Building Codes, and this work is to be governed by industry standards of such work as outlined in the contract to each individual owner. Some concerns that paving of driveways do not meet the Town of Seymour driveway regulations that require a 1.5-inch lip at the intersection with the street as to deflect water from entering the property. With all 3 properties, a letter of opinion on the driveways was issued and included into the file by the firm Nafis & Young, engineers representing the Town of Seymour. With respect to any and all deficiencies in the work performed on each property, the contract includes specific remedies for all work and performance of said work that the owner of the property may pursue. In conclusion, the work outlined under the specifications was performed and meets the minimum standard of the Connecticut State Building Codes. Any owner that is not satisfied with the performance of any work performed by the individual contractor or materials that were used in conjunction with their project should follow the outlined procedures that are specifically outlined in the contract for such work. Any questions regarding this matter, please feel free to contact me, James Baldwin, Building Official, Town of Seymour. So the building official did obviously send this letter out to better inform us and inform the town of what's going on. I know that Kurt had indicated that he wanted to provide an additional update when he gets back from vacation at the next meeting, because he does want to sit down with town council one more time and review some of the options that are available to us moving forward. So with that, unless there are any questions, any discussion on this? I'm going to move to the next item on the agenda. I'd like to entertain a motion to add to the agenda an item that would be with regard to the application, or I should say the resolution for the application of a Connecticut STEEP grant, enabling Kurt to take action on behalf of the town. Do I have a motion? Motion by Nicole, second by Anne Marie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? The ayes have it, 6-0-0. So discussion on this. I'll read it into the record. The resolution reads as follows. Whereas pursuant to Connecticut General Statutes, Section 4-66G, the Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development is authorized to extend financial assistance for economic development projects, and whereas it is desirable and in the public interest that the town of Seymour make an application to the state of Connecticut for $250,000 in order to undertake the Seymour Sidewalk Replacement Phase 4 and to execute the assistance agreement. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Selectmen that it is cognizant of the conditions and prerequisites for the state assistance imposed by Connecticut General Statutes, Section 4-66G, that the filing of an application for the state financial assistance by the town of Seymour in an amount not to exceed $250,000 is hereby approved, and that W. Kurt Miller, First Selectman, is directed to execute and file such application with the Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development to provide such additional information, to execute such other documents as may be required, to execute an assistance agreement with the state of Connecticut for state financial assistance, if such an agreement is offered, to execute any amendments, decisions, and revisions thereto, and to act as the authorized representative of the town of Seymour. Do I have a motion to accept the resolution as written? Motion by Nicole, second by Anne Marie. Any discussion?
This is phase 6, because, you know,
Did I say Phase 4?
I don't know,
I think I misread it. It says, say, Phase 4. Do I need to amend that? It is Phase 6.
Somebody make the motion? You did the accepted as a friendly amendment. Make it.
All right. You're saying?
Second question, is what do you know what we're doing in this phase?
That I don't have information. Maybe Rory does have an update. Which section of the town this sidewalk phase is?
Okay, I thought, no problem. Get back.
Do you may know
No problem. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstain? The ayes have it, 6-0-0. Okay. Next on the agenda, Rory is going to give us an update on the LED streetlight conversion program.
Hello. So work has started. If you remember, there's 2 phases. There's the audit and then the actual retrofitting. The audit is, I would say, complete, but still underway. They have done the entire town, but we also requested that they include in that any outdoor lighting on municipal property. So parking lot lights, floodlights on the outside of buildings, and we realized that they overlooked that when they did the rest of it. So they actually called me today. They were out doing it. They wanted me to call ahead to the police department so that when a strange person was taking pictures at the police department, nobody got alarmed. Once that is complete, they can start negotiations with Eversource. We had a meeting with representatives from Real Term. We did a conference call with Eversource about the basic guidelines for how the process will work. The contact has been made. They know that Real Term represents the town in line negotiations. We have a starting point, which was the inventory that was provided to us when we first started this process. That's basically where it stands now. We're working on them. They'll be installing pilots. You remember there were some concerns about what they call color temperature, which is the lights can be very harsh blue-white, or they can be softer, sort of yellowish light. So they'll be installing a pilot somewhere in town. They had originally proposed the Broad Street Bridge, one side with each, so that people could very clearly determine it. That being a state road, it was too complicated. So they're working with the state to determine if we can even do the conversion on state road. It's unclear whether the town pays for those lights or the state does. So they're working on that as well. We're looking at other sites right now to do the pilot. They proposed the downtown area. I didn't think that was very, because there's not a lot of traffic down here at night, that the residents would be able to see it without going out of their way. about 5,000 cars a day. So they're looking into that to see whether that's possible. They had also closed Franklin Street, which is pretty visible. But that's where we are right now. We're sort of waiting on Eversource and DOT for some of the details, but they're also still crunching the numbers from the audit. So things are moving ahead.
Any questions?
So, when do you anticipate the audit will be fully complete and we'll move on to the
Yeah.
installation phase?
So we had sent them a list of about 10 properties throughout town that Mr. own that might have exterior lights. So any building, the transfer station, the animal shelter, former animal shelter, all of the parks, the parking lots at the parks. They were doing it today. He said he would be doing it tomorrow. I would think they'd be done by the end of the week with that. Even once they do that, if there's sort of reconciling, the amount of lights on state roads is pretty substantial. So if that's not part of the project, we know we had about 1,100 lights. The count on the audit came out higher than that, so I suspect we won't be able to do the state roads. They've been speaking with DOT. They're looking into doing the state roads themselves. What I imagine would be batches rather than all ones due to the number of them statewide. Once we have that, it's a matter of how quickly Eversource will move. I usually get at least an email a day from the attorney. They're reaching out to Eversource, they're reaching out to DOT to try and keep this moving. And if necessary, we will help them try and keep it moving along, but so far so good.
Have you reached out to the, I know Eversource has community service directors that basically handle specific towns?
Yeah, we have a rep. He was on the conference call when we had that, and he put us in touch with, because the utility currently owns the poles and will continue to own them, and because the work involves directly tapping into Eversource's power network, there are some standards that have to be met. So rather than it all going through that rep, and you're not familiar with all the technical specifications, they pointed us out to it.
That's good. And maybe I missed it, I don't know if you answered it with Al's question, but ballpark time of completion, any idea?
They said during the construction phase, they would anticipate something in 4 months.
Mhm.
It's a matter of how long it will take us to arrive at the construction phase. If we are responsible for doing the state roads, I imagine involving the state of Connecticut would slow this down considerably. Best case scenario would actually be that we can't touch them. I think that we can move along just quickly, but it's hard to say when construction will begin.
Anybody else?
Well, you mentioned municipalities,
My understanding, we reached out to Rick Belden, and he said that the exterior light in the parking lots at the schools had already been converted. So we did not involve them because apparently it's already been done. I haven't been to school that night.
Anybody else? Thanks, Rob. All right, next on the agenda, item number 10, discussion and take possible action regarding the charge of the Sustainability Committee. As all you know, a couple weeks ago, we decided to create a Sustainability Committee, and Rory actually got to work and developed a charge that I'm going to read into the record, and we can talk about it afterwards. The Sustainability Committee is a 5-member appointed committee charged with generating, evaluating, and assisting in the execution of sustainability projects, policies, and partnerships to benefit the town of Seymour and its residents. The committee will look to implement recommendations of Seymour's Plan of Conservation and Development, the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, and the Environmental Protection Agency, with a focus on savings for residents and taxpayers. Initiatives shall focus on efficiency, conservation, recreation, and encouraging all things local. As I said, Rory put this together to kind of give the committee some kind of a direction and obviously a mission. So at this point, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the charge as written.
So moved.
Motion by Nicole, second by Al. Discussion? Any thoughts on the write-up? Should we, any amendments, recommendations? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? The ayes have it, 6-0-0. And I know that Rory's been working on trying to set up a schedule to get the committee to meet the very first time, and also fill that fifth spot, which is currently open. So if anybody has any ideas of somebody who might be interested in getting involved, let Rory know, and we'll move forward. Next up, again, I'll call on Rory to come on up, and item number 11, discussion, take possible action regarding Earth Day event.
So in, you guys may remember probably a few months ago at this point, we entered into an agreement to start a Solarize campaign for the town of Seymour, which is basically a partnership between us and the Connecticut Green Bank. Tony Caserta and I, the Director of Operations, interviewed a few contractors, and basically the Solarize campaign matches a town with a solar power company that does installations. So we have been mastered one, and in Pure Point, we have the campaign kickoff on Tuesday, April 11th at the middle school at 7 p.m. And as we have bi-weekly conference calls for the program, and one of the things they recommended was an Earth Day event, which I know in the past we have done sort of volunteer cleanup events
Yeah.
throughout town. It's not a new idea, but I know we haven't done one for a few years. And so I'm working on putting together an event, and we would advertise it on the Facebook page to try and draw public interest. I had thrown out an idea, which was the woods behind Stockman's Pond, which is town property. There's some trails back there. I was out there in the fall, and there's a lot of trash back there, so it could really benefit from cleanup. It's not a very visible project, unfortunately, but you know, we could definitely pull enough trash out of there to make for some good photo ops. But if anybody has other ideas for locations, definitely open to it. But it would be on Earth Day, which I believe is Saturday, April 22nd. Chosen a time, but I would assume probably late morning to start. And I was trying to remember, I used to do them as a kid, if I remember correctly, but I know at that point, a local restaurant offered free food
Yes.
to the people who volunteered, so I would be reaching out to them to see if they would be willing to do that. Free food always helps bring people, but any ideas, recommendations you guys have would be very much appreciated. That's what I'm thinking for now. To get it out there and say that you're all very much welcome to participate. I plan on being there. I think I wrote Kurt into it, so.
I'm sorry, what is the address?
If we go forward with Soccer's Pond.
Soccer's.
That's not definite yet, but that's what I'm thinking of.
Are you putting on an official announcement over social media, town website, all that kind of stuff?
I do a press release for the local papers and with social media and the front page of the website.
I would like to second his idea of the Sockens Pond Woods. I basically grew up in those woods, and they're pretty trashed. To Rory's point, it'd be a good move because it's probably never really been touched.
It wouldn't surprise me if there are 100 back there.
Yeah, at least.
So
So people are legally dumping it.
I wouldn't even think it's
No, they've been there as long as I've been going there, which is 20 years.
There's certainly some recent trash too, but.
Yeah.
It's been a while, I think, since they've cleaned up.
Yeah, the last time we did this behind the railroad tracks, we found a mattress.
It's kind of impressive how people manage to litter certain things. Pretty conspicuous.
I don't think we need to take any action on this, do we?
No.
No,
I think so.
it's just, anything else for Roy? No? Thanks, Roy. All right, item number 12, appointments. We have 2 appointments tonight. So I'll entertain a motion to reappoint Wendy Rossi to the MSOC Board for a 2-year term expiring on April 13th, 2019. Do I have a motion? Motion by Nicole, second by Anne Marie. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? The ayes have it, 6-0-0. And I'll entertain a motion for Mike Massey. It's a reappointment to the Recreation Board, a 2-year term expiring on April 7th, 2019.
Second.
Motion by Nicole, second by Al. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? The ayes have it, 6-0-0. All right. Item number 13, tax refunds and abatements. You want to read this out?
Following overpayment of tax bill for $397.26 needs to approve the refund in accordance with the provisions of section 12-129 of the Connecticut General Statutes. Dated at Seymour, the 31st day of March 2017, Susan Boland, Assistant Tax Collector.
Thank you, Al. Let's take a look at the assessments if everything is okay. Do I have a motion to accept the tax refund and abatements report?
So moved.
Motion by Karen, second by Anne Marie. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? The ayes have it, 6-0-0. Item 14, transfers. There are no transfers tonight. Item 15, correspondence. We do have in the packets one piece of correspondence from Susan DeBarber, the town clerk, with regard to an agreement for the ACS Enterprise Solutions. It's basically the land management, or land records management system that they have in place. Just read through that. Item 16, public comment. Is there anybody with public comment? Yep. Please come to the mic and state your name and address for the record.
My name is David Manning, 16 Oakwood Drive, Oxford. And I've been following the story of the street replacement program for a little while, and I was glad to get all these updates today. But I'm concerned that the primary motive for the replacement seems to be to save money, which is a great idea, but this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to improve the nighttime appearance of Seymour. I think if it's done well, it could be really good. If it's done badly, we could be living with it for a long, long time. I've recently seen some of the new street lights that Eversource has put in the state highways, and they're really, really bad. And I hope you don't think of anything like that, because it will just make Seymour look really, really ugly at night, a lot of glare, a lot of needless light. So I hope that you pay attention to some of the non-financial aspects of replacing streetlights. I think it could make Seymour a lot more beautiful at night. I think we should engage the community a lot more. I don't see a lot of involvement from other people in town, other commissions. I don't know if you have an architect that you consult with, or a lighting expert. It seems to be mainly dealing with first term, which may be great, but you don't have any independent source of expertise on making the decisions. I really would like to see street lights that are well shielded, that don't produce excessive glare, and that are producing light where they're supposed to go, and not glaring all over the town. So, thank you for allowing me to make these comments.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any other public comment? Mr. Flaherty?
regards to Parkland Food, I sought out answers for this with another grant coordinator in another city, and I asked them specifically what went into that process. They can give me an answer.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it for me.
Thank you, Mr. Flaherty. Then, any other public comment? Come on up.
I'm having a problem. We did get some information from the town and the breakdown of how much money was what. But it doesn't, it says division this, division that, division that. It doesn't explain what it is. You know, it's either division one, does that mean my roof? Does that mean my driveway? Does it mean my bathroom? I don't know, but they have dollars and cents on the other side. I used to work in manufacturing. I was in production control. I was a plant. I knew how much money each piece cost. I had to keep track of each piece. I don't understand why we can't give breakdown of how much the materials cost. If I went to the grocery store and they turned around after I checked out and said $150, and they didn't give me the receipt. Would I accept that? No. So why would I accept not giving a breakdown of what they paid for? I understand labor is involved in it, but I want to know what I'm paying for. Because some of the stuff that's put in there is not top notch, and I don't want to be charged the top notch price for some of the stuff. I'm not even going to say publicly what I've heard. That has been a lot. And so I want a breakdown from the contractor. Prices, you should have the receipts, because that's, I know other contractors, that's what they do. They give you what they paid for, how much their labor is. We just get a piece of paper saying Division 1, Division 2, a price. That doesn't answer any of my questions. So that's one of my main concerns. And then also in it, it was talking about the driveway stuff. What about my vinyl? What about the frame on my door in the bathroom? Nobody's addressing me that. I mean, like I say, the contractor said, he'll patch it. Why should I accept a C? That's not quality work. I paid for seamless, and now he wants to put a patch on it. Nobody's addressing those things. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment? Is there any other public comment? Just one last time, any other public comment? If not, I'll move to item number 17, Selectmen's public comments. Stefan?
I have no further comments tonight.
Karen?
I'm good.
Al?
I don't have anything.
Anne Marie? Wow. This is going to be a chirp here?
I-
There you go, Nicole.
Sorry. Just a couple quick things. I had the honor of attending and speaking at the Seymour High School cheer banquet last night at Ari and Prospect. It was a great group of student athletes. Those cheerleaders give out a lot of awards, Bill, but it was very nice. They do. It was a nice time had by all, and a great group of young men and women who cheer for our town. They do a lot of community work, so it's nice to see the other things that they do, besides. And it was amazing to me what a true group of athletes they are. Just, it's great to see what they can do. So it was nice to be able to speak to them last night, or Sunday night. And then second, I went to the Seymour Police Department award ceremony at Villa Bianca. And I was able to attend that with Kurt and Al when Anne Marie was out of town, so she wasn't able to attend and missed a great time. The men and women in the town of Seymour that protect and service every day
it's nice to see them getting some recognition for the great things that they do and putting their life on the line every day. So anybody that missed it, it was a nice event. But thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. And I'll actually echo that. I had the opportunity to go as well, and that's all right. I'll let you off the hook this time. But just wanted to say publicly, thank you again to the police department. It was a great event. You hear some of the stories of what the police go through every day, and you don't realize in a small town like Seymour how much actually goes on here. And they do a phenomenal job. I think that, the awards were well-deserved and probably kind of an understatement to what they do. So just public thank you for them, to them for what they do. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Anne Marie, second by Nicole. All those in favor? Opposed? Abstained? The ayes have it, 6-0-0. Please mark the end of the meeting at 7:40.